Good morning and welcome to the Ohio Means Jobs Columbus Franklin County Job Center's Employer Highlight Series. We're excited on this rainy Tuesday in Columbus to have Doug Chapman joining us from Rumpke Waste and Recycling. Doug, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. Like you said, we've got that rain coming down, but I think we needed it.
I think we did too, definitely. For those of you that are joining us on our live streams right now, we like to take this opportunity to give you a chance to really get to know some of our great employer partners here in the Columbus and Franklin County area, and Rumpke Waste and Recycling is certainly one of those. As we have a discussion today with Doug, feel free to add any questions that you have in the chat box, and it will show up for us so we can make sure that we get those answered, because we definitely want this session to be very informational and to get all of your questions answered while we have Doug on with us. So Doug, I think the way that I always like to start these conversations is just for you to maybe provide a little background about Rumpke Waste and Recycling as an organization, and then also explain your role with them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, I'll introduce myself. I'm Doug Chapman. I'm the East Area Recruiting Manager, and that's going to cover about half the company, majority within the state of Ohio, and then our West area kind of touches little bits and pieces of Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. So here in Ohio, I'm running the recruiting, and you talk about our history and kind of where it started, and this is something I always love to talk about because it's such a cool story, and I could probably spend an hour just telling you about the story. But just an oversight. So our founder, William Rumpke, it dates all the way back to the 1930s. What he did was he ran a junkyard and a coal delivery business starting down in Cincinnati. And often his customers bartered sheep, chicken, old cars, pigs, different things like that for his services. So that's where it all got started. But then as time went on, once you got into the 1950s, that's where you started seeing changes in policies and everything. So using trash to feed that livestock that he was bartered with, the policies changed where different items had to be cooked for that. So that he sold off all his livestock, and that's when he really started just focusing on the waste and recycling, which, we've developed as far as technology, as far as what we recycle, how that, trash is processed. Of course, we're becoming more and more efficient and effective and more green, planet friendly. A lot of our trucks are powered by compressed natural gas that many of our facilities produce. So today, we continue to grow. Our current CEO, Bill Rumpke Jr., sits down at our corporate headquarters in Cincinnati. And, as large as we are, it's a family-owned business. And you can really feel that as far as the culture. You're well taken care of. You're known by name and not by a number. And that's something I'm proud to represent.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot that you talk about there that's absolutely fascinating to me, because a lot of times we take for granted the waste removal process. We all roll our cans out to the curb on whatever day our pickup is, and we know that it disappears and we pay the bill and that's about it. But it's interesting when you really start to think about that concept of innovation, that concept of environmental concern. And definitely a family culture is super important for a lot of individuals. So I appreciate you sharing all of that. A lot of what we really want to try to accomplish today is to really help our job seekers that are out there watching to understand exactly what type of candidates you're looking for, and then to really feel like Rumpke is a great place for them to apply. So why don't we start by talking about some of the characteristics of what you look for in a potential employee?
Right. So what I love is, we're a second chance employer. We don't necessarily have the black and white, what disqualifies you or what qualifies you. We like to take a look at those on a case by case basis. So that's something that's really good. If there's someone that may have had a background or something, we still will take a look at them and provide them an opportunity to have a good job and really start a career and make money.
Awesome.
As far as I was just going to say, pretty typical after that. Everybody wants good, hard workers, and we just want people who want to be a part of a team, who are willing to go above and beyond when needed, who are there to lend a helping hand to coworkers, who are there to go in the same direction that the company is going and be a part of that growth, whether they're a helper on a trash truck, or they're a driver, or they're working in our recycling facility, or somewhere in operations. Like myself as a recruiter, we have HR, we have a sales team. So there's many different ways that people can contribute, but we just want you to be there, be on the Rumpke team, be a part of the family, and be all aboard as far as moving in the same direction that the company wants to go. And we're all about growth.
Yeah, excellent. And so talking about growth, one of the things that I've really noticed over the past year and a half is that a lot of our job seekers are looking at career changes. And so, a lot of individuals that may consider applying to Rumpke may not have any experience driving a truck or anything like that. What opportunities do you guys have, really for professional development as a new hire, and then also as somebody who works with the company and is looking at advancement?
Yeah, definitely. So, with the different opportunities we have, you can move left, right, or up. And we have internal training opportunities. One thing that I will kind of highlight, because it's a program that's done so well that we want to continue to see grow, and that's our CDL driver trainee program. So you could have no experience, never driven a big truck, and we will hire you on as a driver trainee, and we will put you through the proper training that you need and pay and help you obtain your CDL Class B. And upon obtaining that, you now become a CDL driver for us. So that's, for someone that wants to go into a company, look for a company to invest in them, develop their skill set, and essentially put them on a path for a good career, to earn a good living for their family, then, that's a very successful route that's been doing very good. And we're continuing to grow that.
Excellent. I know that's probably at the forefront of a lot of individuals who have never, they've always thought, well, maybe I could, but haven't ever actually done that type of work. So that's
right.
Excellent. And then I'm assuming, within the organization, if you decide you want to have that upward mobility, there are additional opportunities.
Oh, definitely. A lot of the past people can go from helpers or trainees to drivers. We have route supervisors, route managers, all the way up to, operations managers. So many different ways you can go, and you just gotta, sit down with your supervisor. They do your annual reviews, and you express those different career progression opportunities you want to take. We have our own internal job board. Any position that we post will be posted internally, and there's a process, for intercompany transfers and requests that can happen as well. And, if it makes sense, it's always fully supported.
Sounds like you guys have a great structure for advancement. While we're on this topic, obviously that educational component is a huge benefit for somebody looking to join your team. What other benefits would you like to highlight so that, potential job seekers really understand all of the impact that working for Rumpke can have on them?
Definitely. All of our full-time employees are eligible for our full medical, dental, vision. We have 401k, basic life insurance, short-term, long-term disability, flexible spending accounts, holiday pay, paid time off. Pretty, I would consider it pretty standard across the company. But I think if you dig into the way that it's set up, even down to the amounts, it's very set up where you can tell the company's taking care of their employees. One thing I'd like to highlight that was a little different for me, but I've come to really like it, is we pay on a weekly basis. I think most companies are bi-weekly, but here at Rumpke, you get a paycheck every week.
Yeah, it's interesting how you sometimes don't realize those small things can really add up in your day-to-day life, for sure. So if someone has an interest in working for Rumpke, one thing that we definitely want to highlight is that we will actually have you on site at our job center this Thursday at 10 a.m. for what we call a Thursday with an employer, where potential job seekers can sit down and have a conversation with you about Rumpke, about the corporate culture and everything, and actually start that application process. So if anyone out there is interested, you can actually call us at 614-559-5052 or visit our social media posts to register for that, because we do allow 25 individuals to participate in that Thursday event. So we're really excited to have you be a part of that. But outside of that Thursday event, what does the application and interview process feel like with Rumpke?
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, there'll be slight changes based on the position. We are heavily safety focused, and of course, those drivers are going to get an additional training prior to starting. But for the most part, everything's electronic now, which I really like, especially our onboarding process. So when you apply online, normally someone will reach out to you within 24 to 48 hours. And I say that just kind of depending on workload, but that's the target we like to shoot for. Reach out to you, schedule an interview. You come in, you conduct your interview. A lot of times, as far as our labor sorters, CDL drivers, we'll begin your background and drug screening process right there on the spot. And the way that will look like is both of those will go directly to your email, where you can click a link to complete your background check, and then you can get networked with your nearest partnered drug screening agency and go there to complete that, and that'll come directly back to us. I would say on average for that entire process, 4 to 7 business days. Really just kind of depends on those agencies that we use, what their workload is looking like. And then after that, we're able to do an electronic onboarding. I mean, you can do it on a smartphone. Just go through and take care of like your W-4, all your tax forms. Everything as far as onboarding is very user-friendly there. And then you come in and start. Everyone's going to start on an orientation where they're going to get basic safety information. They're going to learn more about the company, our facilities. And then, certain positions will stay for more in-depth safety training. But depending on the position you have, you'll begin your training, you'll meet your supervisors and your peers, and you'll really feel a part of that team, right from the get-go. Yeah,
that's excellent. And it sounds like, you guys have really worked diligently to refine that hiring process, because, we all remember when it from the time you apply, it would take 2, 3, 4 weeks to get to an interview and even start the hiring process. And, for you guys to be able to do that 4 to 7 days on your results from your drug screens and really move forward quickly is a testament to the work that you guys are doing, for sure. So that's awesome.
We try our best.
Yeah, definitely. So you've mentioned drug screening and background checks, but with the caveat that you guys are a second chance employer and you look at everything case by case.
Yes.
Are there any other real special requirements that our job seekers should know about when they're considering, applying for one of your positions?
Yeah. So when it comes to our driver trainees, we do have to dig into their driving record and certain aspects of that due to Department of Transportation requirements when you obtain that CDL. And that's something, we would discuss. A lot of it is on our pre-screens. If you go to our website and you apply for one of our driver positions, you'll see the list of questions where it's going to ask about OVIs as far as how many points you had in a certain amount of time, if your driver's license ever been revoked or rejected at any point in time. Those are the only big additional requirements that we will need as far as, on a federal requirement level to obtain the CDL. But everything else, we'll look at on a case by case basis. Everyone is required to pass the drug screening.
So I know when we talked earlier this week, you mentioned that your office is located just north of downtown, off of 5th Street. What work locations could an individual expect to potentially work from if they apply for a position?
Yep. So what they're going to find here in Columbus, it's going to be at our Fields Avenue. That's where all of our trucks are coming out of. We have our recycling facility here, who's always looking for laborers and sorters. Again, the driver trainees are going to be out of here, and also our helpers, who's on the back of the truck. It is physically demanding, but it'll keep you in great shape. So we are looking for helpers, and right now for helpers, we're actually offering a $2,000 sign-on bonus, but it's going to be paid out over a year. We'll pay it 3, 6 months, and then 1 year. And if you don't mind, I've got some other bonuses I'd like to
feel free. We can talk about all those open positions that you have right now. I think that's a great segue.
Yeah, definitely. So I mentioned helpers, laborers and sorters for our facilities. There's that as well. The CDL drivers and trainees. If you already have your CDL, we will give up to $10,000 sign-on bonus. And of course, that'll be within your first year. So that's kind of broken up into, separate payments over a year. On average, our drivers are making $1,200 to $1,400 a week. Our driver trainees are going to start off at $18 an hour. Normally, I would say on average, they can obtain their CDL maybe in 1 to 2 months. And that's just, depending on scheduling. Sometimes it could be quicker. Sometimes it could be a little longer as well. But those trainees are going to start off at 18 an hour. When they get their CDL, we'll bump them up to 22. After that, they're in charge of their own career. We'll work with them and give them a good career path.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, those are our main positions. Of course, we've always got other types of positions available, but it's best to go on rumpke.com/careers and take a look. If you're open for a little bit of a drive, we do have, other central Ohio locations, depending what part of Columbus you're in, that may be commutable for the right opportunity.
Excellent. And, one other thing, I know we discussed this for your Fields location. It is right next to Coda. So for those that might not have transportation right away, the Coda bus line is right there. So it makes it really easy to get to work until you're able to purchase your own vehicle and, start heading in that direction as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
So Doug, I really appreciate this. You've given us a lot of great opportunities, a lot of opportunities for career growth within your organization, everything. And I think all of that is just commendable in the type of organization that Rumpke is. As a reminder to everyone, we like to kind of say this is the week of Rumpke, and this is kicking it off for us. As I mentioned earlier, we have our Thursday with an employer, which is this Thursday at 10 a.m. You can contact us at 614-559-5052 to be a part of that session where you can meet Doug and actually work on applying for a position and start the hiring process right there with your drug screen, background check, authorizations, and everything. We also have a core virtual hiring event this week. Rumpke will be a part of that. The event is open for registration now. You can visit our website, omjcfc.org, and under the job seeker tab, you can connect to it. And then the event will go live Thursday at 8 a.m. and run until Saturday evening at 11:59 p.m. So outside of just having Doug being a part of that event, we actually have 33 employers right now and over 2,000 open positions in that event. So while we definitely want to lift up everything that Doug, that you and Rumpke is doing, we have a lot of great hiring opportunities right now in the Columbus and Franklin County market that's super exciting. All right, I have to ask, anything else that you feel you want to share with everybody today?
No, I just want to tell, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on here and share the Rumpke story and share the opportunities we have. I know it's easy for everyone to come on and talk about how great everything is. But I invite everyone to apply and find out for yourself. Come, like I said, you're joining a family and you're going to be taken care of and you're going to feel valued. So apply now.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug. And as a reminder for everybody, depending on what social platform you're viewing this on, be sure to follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube for updates of everything that we do here in the Job Center. And we hope to see you this Thursday and as a part of our core virtual hiring event. Well, Doug, thank you so much for being a part of our employer highlight series today. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you.